Most Americans have made up their mind, but now we're at a point of just turnout election. This isn't about policies anymore. It's who can get the most voters to the polls. And so what we're seeing is Democrats certainly run through the finish line after 2016, but you're seeing Donald Trump do the same thing. He's got to turn out his base. And that's why he's talking at 1 o'clock in the morning in the United States.
About some of the various states that we're watching at this point. Clearly a big focus on the battleground states, but also a focus on areas like Georgia, where there is a view that may switch back to the Democrats. There's typically a Republican area. Also Texas, neck and neck where the polling's at. What do you make of some of these close races we're seeing at a state level?
Look, states that haven't been in play for Democrats are now in play for the first time in 20 plus years. That shows how frustrated people are with not just the Trump administration, but the failures we're seeing with COVID. And so as millions of first-time voters come of age and get to participate in our democracy, you're seeing them specifically in places like Georgia, in Florida, in Texas. Young people who are saying, we don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican. We care about getting things done. And so I think that's why we're seeing historic turnout numbers all across the country.
Michael, very interesting. You wheel out a big gun like Barack Obama. You put him out there to work. He gets on the hustings, but he spends all of his time personally attacking the president. Comments like, this is the president that encouraged you to drink bleach and so on and so forth. Does this style of campaigning resonate with black Latino voters, those that the Democrats are very keen to get to the ballot box? Is this working, this very personal style of attack?
Look, Barack Obama certainly has a magic sense and an ability to talk to people that is pretty much unrivaled. And they've deployed him to African-American places to turn out that vote. And I think the big thing we're going to see on Election Day is long lines in African-American precincts. One, because of, states trying to suppress the vote, but also African-Americans historically vote on Election Day. And so we've seen big turnouts from other communities. Now the question is, are African-Americans going to turn out? And I think we're going to see historic numbers on Election Day, numbers that rival, I think, 2008.
Michael, I want to get into that a little bit more because there was a view early on that even a big turnout, maybe that would augur well for President Trump as well. And what we've seen around some of these blue-collar areas, I want to get into that in particular because there is a feeling that in 2016, Hillary Clinton lost because she didn't have the blue-collar worker on board. And you saw the collapse of the blue wall that many commentators had noted. This time around, do you think Joe Biden has done enough to woo back those blue-collar voters?
Joe Biden has been consistent, and not just in this election, but over his entire career, listening to blue-collar voters, supporting unions. And so I think that's resonating with them. But I think Hillary Clinton had a very different race. Donald Trump was not the incumbent. He was an unknown commodity, and he got a benefit of the doubt that he's not getting this time as the incumbent president. You pair that with his failed trade war with China, and I think you're really seeing blue-collar workers shift back to Biden, but also shift back to wanting a sense of normalcy. Being able to sit down at Thanksgiving dinner and not have fistfights over what the new tweet is or what the new policy is. I think that's really what's resonating across this country.